Hello, everybody. Welcome to Atlantis
Hi.
Spaceship, a.k.a. Teddy Bear Hug Map. Because the map looks like a teddy bear trying to hug you.
It does.
And in the purple area at the center of your screen, but the top of the map, we have Karont3 Esports Club Vortex. He qualified for TSL 4 too, so he's not only been a monster in our league, but he qualified for that extremely hard 1,000-man bracket as well.
He's overshadowing his brother right now in terms of recent results.
Lucifron only got round of 8 in today's qualifier, so Vortex is like, hey man, what's
up with that, Lucifron?
What's up, Loserfron?
Oh, you went there.
No, Vortex went there in my hypothetical conversation.
That's right, it wasn't you.
It wasn't me.
If Lucifron heard that, he can't be mad at you. That was Vortex.
Loserfron.
Be mad at him. Who's this guy?
Sniper, MVP.Sniper, just took out Alistor, who took out Finale, who took out Loserfron. So, so Vortex. If Vortex beat Sniper, then he actually beat Lucifron by proxy.
Right.
So
you're making so many friends.
Yeah, dude. Me and Lucifron are close friends.
You're pals.
That's actually not
You're
true. But
amigos.
Lucifron, if you want to be buddies, we can hang out next. Maybe I'll go to Valencia DreamHack and we can hang out.
That's right.
Anyway,
I took 2.5 years of Spanish in high school.
Who'd you take them from?
I actually see it was more Mexican Spanish.
Oh, okay.
Because our teacher was from Mexico, and in the U.S. there's many more Mexican immigrants than people from actual Spain, so they kind of gear it towards that dialect, I guess. So
yeah, I had a Quebecois French teacher, and anytime I talk to someone from France, they're like, "That's the Quebec word."
Oh no!
You didn't learn real French. I'm like, I don't care, because I tested out of it in college and didn't have to do it anymore.
It's harsh.
Yay, language skills.
Yay.
All right. So Sniper knows Korean pretty fluently, from what I hear.
He was born there. Yeah.
Really?
He was.
Wow. And Vortex, I'm assuming, speaks pretty good Spanish.
Probably. We have two very different openings here from each player as well. We actually had what was a pool into hatch into gas from Vortex, a little bit safer opening here, whereas we had hatch first, it looks like, from Sniper, I believe. Although I admit I was not paying as close attention as I was normally. They
both speak Zerg.
So that's right. They're both like... That's more like Murloc than Zerg, really, isn't
Murlocs are Zerg.
I would believe that. They do swarm. It's true.
All right, so Sniper actually going to get his hatchery done first. Vortex already has his spawn pool done?
It's because he got his pool before his hatchery, that's why.
Yeah, so vastly different builds here. Okay.
Yeah, like I said.
Yeah, 2 queens for Sniper, though.
Guess we can't ask Joshy, because he's not paying attention today.
Tell
Joshy, that's what we're doing now. Zergling speed on the way for MVP.Sniper, a little bit quicker. And so he will have that slight speed advantage if he wants to, but it's only going to end up being just a couple seconds, so not a whole lot of worry really for Vortex. So the question is,
how many Hydralisks are they going to build?
I would guess 0 in most games. Although, as long as you're bringing that up, Ask Joshy, I'm going to tell you something. When you go Muta versus Muta these days, or when you go Mutalisk in general, a lot of times when you add those Infestors on there and your opponent has Mutalisks, you do want to add a Hydralisk Cavern as well. You want to get a couple Hydralisks out. The reason is that a lot of Zerg players have figured out that if they take those Mutalisks that they have, split them into small groups of 1 or 2, they can attack your Infestors then, and then force you to either lose an Infestor a lot of times, or have to fungal on a very inefficient amount of Mutalisks.
Right.
So in order to counteract that, a lot of Zerg players, and we saw this from TSL Revival yesterday, have started making a Hydralisk den and just getting a couple Hydras along with that too.
Yeah, makes sense. Ground protection. They're like mobile turrets. Keep track of all those Mutalisks swarming around. Looks like Vortex is going to get a Baneling nest. It's about halfway done now. Sniper instead favoring lots and lots of Lings.
Yeah. Interesting. So
not sure. Oh, that could be
nothing
really bad
but
for
Lings,
him.
actually.
That could be really bad for him if some Banelings splash in there.
Well, it's not done yet, and here's a situation that you see sometimes in ZVZ where you expand and then you just go ahead and not make drones. You just make a ton of Zerglings and you try to do a lot of early damage when they're not expecting it, because that is a huge amount of Zerglings. And is Alistar ready? That's the question. We have 26 Zerglings versus 0.
No Lings on the field for Vortex yet, so he can't even make any into Banelings. It's just slightly too slow.
Spine Crawler.
Spinecrawler, if he can surround fully with those drones, that'll certainly help. But a queen, both queens actually in danger of going down, and he does hold pretty well.
Wow, no kidding.
All those Lings showed up at great time. Both queens lived in red health, and I don't believe he even had to use a transfuse.
He lost 4 workers. That was not bad at all. Pretty decent result for our Karont3 Zerg player.
20 units killed, 20 Lings for 4 drones. Not bad at all. So Banelings didn't make an appearance. Actually, that's kind of good for Vortex because now Sniper's... well, actually, I don't know if Sniper's scouted with an Overlord or something, but he's not totally aware that they're Banelings because he didn't see any at that front. But now he definitely is because he just ran past those cocoons. Yeah. But someone yelled at me. Someone yelled at me for saying Zerg eggs.
Really?
Yeah, they're cocoons.
It is. It does say Baneling cocoon
no eggs.
right there.
There are no eggs in this game.
Aren't there eggs?
Only cocoons.
Oh, Baneling's getting taken out by other Banelings. One does survive. No Spinecrawler at the front yet.
Get him.
Oh,
man.
He could get the Banelings. Oh, and he does hit 3 of them, taking them down to relatively low health, but it does take 2 Banelings to do it.
Man. Yeah, so cocoons everywhere, turns out.
Zerg cocoon. Oh, you're right. Oh, wow, they are all cocoons. My mind was just blown.
Yeah, so whoever yelled at me, thank you, whoever yelled at me for now educating 2 casters.
You're right.
With 1 insult.
They are not eggs. Why?
No?
I've never noticed that before.
They're all cocoons.
Everyone says Zerg eggs.
So now I say cocoon funnily because of this guy who opened my eyes.
They are cocoons. Oh,
wow, that was a good blast.
Those Zerglings wish that Baneling was still a cocoon when they ran into him. No fun there. Supply is pretty even for both of our players. Sniper going for that +1 missile attacks again fairly early on. Oh, and Vortex going for that Spire. Oh, more Baneling detonations going off. But Vortex under no danger at all from this.
Bad trade there for Sniper, losing a Baneling to a Spinecrawler Impaler Tentacle. Did you know that was the name of the Spinecrawler?
I did know that it was called Impaler Tentacles. Sniper trying to scout, but he is not going to see the Spire, I think. No, he has not seen it just yet. Coming down the ramp. And, oh, I don't think he saw that. Let me just select one of his units here.
I kind of wish Spinecrawler was just called Impaler Tentacle.
Here's the thing, though. I think that would be cooler. It does have, there it is, Impaler Tentacle. I think he does have an idea, though, that there will be... And he does just put down an infestation pit here because he senses it. You know, he didn't see any other tech. Knows there's probably going to be a Spire if there's not one already. And there's a third as well. And when you see that third base like that with no other tech, a lot of times it is going to be a Mutalisk.
Yeah, well, last game we just saw a ZVZ where both players had 3 bases and both went Roach and Fester. Yeah. So it's still kind of coin flippy. If without actually seeing the Spire, I mean.
Yep.
So Sniper... I mean, he's getting his infestation pit, but that's kind of his logical progression anyway, right? After building so many roaches. So it'll be interesting to see who comes out on top here, especially Sniper now taking a pretty commanding supply lead.
Yeah, really, no kidding. And the reason why that is
saving money for the mutas.
Exactly, yeah. So the supply is going to naturally go down a little bit for Vortex, but if he can make a lot of mutas, which he is, 9 mutas catching up mostly to that supply that his opponent has, he could end up doing some damage. So I have to see how Sniper responds to that. He's got a strong ground army, though. So in this situation, sometimes you see Zerg players just get those Infestors, defend against the mutas for a couple minutes, and then move out and just simply try to win. And you can see Vortex knows he's going to need to transition here. He's also getting an Evolution Chamber again, and then also getting his Roach Warren as well. So.
Okay, so the mutas are loose. The Lings have roped around the back of these Roaches. But, he's moving it a little early for what he's trying to accomplish here. Mutas overhead. They need to take out those Roaches at the front lines first, but now it's going to be so hard to focus anything. I don't know. He's just aiming for splash damage, trying to get a pulse around with those Lings. Muta's not really focusing anything down.
Roach is not focusing anything down. I feel like he could have focused a hatchery and killed that off.
He killed so many drones there, like at least 8 that were mining gas, and he does get the burrow off. Well, maybe
I think
less
he,
than 8.
yeah, I mean, he decided he wanted to just kill off all those Lings because if he just went for the hatchery and then lost all his Roaches, he'd have to worry about the counterattack. Right? It'd be a little bit tough. So we'll see what he does. The burrow being very, very annoying. Oh, picking off another drone.
Yeah, these mutas should be fine clumping and focusing down these Roaches. There's no Infestors on the field yet. Should be a little bit easier to catch those Roaches than he made it look, but he does have... they didn't lose too much supply there, but he didn't really build any mutas during that interim either. He's basically sticking with those 9 to 10 that he got in the first place and hasn't been producing any more. He's just making waves of drones and Infestor upgrades at this point.
Oh, I like this. You notice how he split one Mutalisk off to fly into the main base first. He wants to find where everything is, wants to scout out where all the Infestors and Spore Crawlers are. And look at that. Yeah, he can actually go right after the Spore Crawler. Where are the Infestors?
Are
there any yet? None out yet, yeah. And I'm a little bit surprised he actually went for that Spore. I feel like it would have been better to engage the Infestation Pit, force the Queen to kind of come off the line a little bit, get away from that Spore Crawler.
And then he can do the little bounce around technique to keep those mutas out of range of the queen and still hit the infestation pit, or at least split damage, because the queen's not going to be able to do any splash and keep up if you keep splitting your mutas.
Now we also see, I'm trying to find it here. Where is
Hydralisk Den.
Hydralisk Den. Yeah, I'm trying to find where it is right now for Sniper, but
it's down in his natural. Scroll down. Right there.
Oh yeah. Duh. Okay,
Yay.
I was looking for something still building. I didn't realize it finished. So
yeah,
Hydralisk Den on the way. And that's kind of what I was talking about earlier, where most players that do get Infestors also get Hydras now. Before, it was either like you had to choose. You could either go Roach Infestor or Roach Hydra. You couldn't do both. But Zerg players now are like,
Infestors
if I have Hydras, I can manage my fungals better too. And yeah, I don't need as many.
Yeah, it's a complement more than a total build switch, because these Infestors are probably the best units in the game.
They are pretty good.
They do so much, and they're just very, very utilitarian, I guess, is the adjective for them. But 8 Hydralisks on the way compared to 12 Roaches. No more mutas being built, so that's kind of bait and switch by Vortex. Here, I'll show you my 10 mutas and not build any more. So invest in Hydralisks.
Most players won't try to go all in with Mutalisks and win the game with those. They'll get out about 10, try to harass as much as they can. The big thing with it, though, is to try to push back the Overlords that are all over the map, and that's exactly what Vortex did with that. So basically, you use the Mutas to get map control. Make sure that your third is safe. That's another big reason to go Mutalisks in ZVZ right now. And then you just try to transition out of it into some more normal late-game tech. So yeah, the Mutalisks right now are more like kind of a means to an end rather than the end themselves like we used to see.
Okay, and Vortex just cranking out tons of Roaches. I don't really see too many Infestors out of him. Only 3 or 4 right there with that main army. Oh, actually, sorry, that's Sniper, purple and blue Zerg.
Yep, he's got 7 Infestors total, where there are 6 for Vortex.
All right, so he's off creep. Makes it a little easier to see, but these mutas still just bouncing in and out, looking for Overlords that are prone, and he's...
Prone Overlords?
The prone Overlords, the ones that lay down flat on the ground.
That's right, they're so cute when they do that. They just kind of squish out on the sides.
Yeah, they're tired of flying, so they just...
Yep. There you go.
They're prone to attack, not lying prone.
Overlord's attacking now, huh? All right, Sniper, speaking of attacking, moving in. Fungals going down everywhere, and when the dust clears, who will be ahead? Right now, the supply looking pretty even for both of these guys. A little bit higher maybe from time to time for Sniper, and it looks like he may just barely have enough Queens transfusing from the back. But in the end, Vortex, with those infested Terrans, just barely seems to be pushing Sniper back.
That's insane. Like, the Hydra count is down to 1 in this force.
He needs one more fungal. One more fungal would do so much damage to those Roaches. He does need to run for it, but a pretty even trade, actually, for both players. And you know what? Vortex has his 4th base up.
Do you mind clicking on a Roach from Vortex?
Yes.
What are his armor upgrades? 2. So that's why he's able to outstand that huge force, because Sniper didn't have any armor upgrades. He only had offensive upgrades. So that 2 armor making a huge, huge difference there from that amount of DPS that was coming out from so many ranged units of Sniper. And Hydralisk still being made now, despite
Hive too,
and a Hydralisk Den coming up for Vortex. So both players investing in that mystery unit.
Now with that Hive, a lot of Zerg players lately have been choosing to go Ultralisks when it gets to the same point in the game. But being that he already has a Spire out, he can definitely go for Corruptors too, and he's going to feel pretty comfortable about that because he knows his opponent doesn't have one. So Corruptors into Broodlords, I'm going to guess, is what we're going to see from Sniper if he doesn't just decide to get upgrades and kind of stick with Roach Hydra, which is also another option as well. I mean, he is putting a lot into the Hydralisks that he's getting to.
Yeah, that's a lot of Hydralisks. Actually, he's just been continually making them. 8 Hydras so far for Sniper. I just saw a wave of 5 or so completing in the production tab. Range upgrade only halfway done for Vortex, so his Hydras are going to be a little bit less effective. When you're moving around in a giant ball like that, it makes the Hydras look faster because they're getting shoved around.
A little bit, They're not really that fast. It's deceptive. Looks like he is just going to use it for upgrades for now. He's getting +3/+3 right now. That is +3 missile attacks, and then also the +3 ground carapace for Zerg.
Oh, we got an encounter coming up.
Yes, we
Big
do.
Fungals leading off for Sniper. He's going to try to get a concave, but it looks like Vortex actually has that on his side. Lots and lots of Fungals, whereas Vortex is using all of this on Swarm Eggs instead of Fungals. I have to imagine that the Fungals would have been more...
Yeah, I think so too.
effective.
I mean, especially because he does have the upgrade advantage right now, 2-2 to just 1-2 for MVP Sniper. But in the end, those infested Terrans not really doing anything. one thing with Infested Terrans is that they die to fungal very, very quickly because they have low hit points anyway. And now Sniper's in a pretty good spot. Can he catch some more units with fungal? He doesn't have. Oh, he only has one. barely getting it. And yeah, it's a little bit dangerous to be that close to your opponent and not have a good roach buffer. Ooh. Needs to fungal defensively, and it looks like Sniper may have miscalculated a little bit here.
So yeah, Vortex actually clawing his way back a little bit, but the supply is definitely. I mean, that one encounter
he
just
did
made
kill the
such
hatchery
a huge
up here
difference,
too.
and the hatchery snipe. Oh my goodness! So Sniper doing a good job multitasking here. He landed those fungals when he needed to. Vortex made a wall of infested swarm eggs that just didn't really stand up at all. And even though the upgrades were on his side, now
GG, well played.
GG.
Oh man, an MVP takes the match. 5-3 against Karont3. It was a valiant effort by Karont3, but in